Hi, this is Carl, and this video is a reflection on immersion just happened last month. I went to Rome, Italy, and the trip was really interesting. Learned a lot about Italian culture, especially their food, their buildings, the religions. And despite that, I also learned a lot about how flexible works like as a group trip and how serendipity is really important in real life. And talking about culture, went to a foreign country. First thing we need to learn about is their culture and language. So we learn a lot of Latin words, but sometimes, like for beginners, really confused when you went to foreign country. You just didn't really want to speak up to locals. But in this trip, we have a lot of like time to speak with local because we have free time for lunch. So we went to different we have different groups went to different restaurants and speaking to locals. Some locals know how to speak English, but some just didn't. So we went to speak them with our Italian we knew, which is really basic. And it's really interesting that one time we went to a pizza shop, and that guy just asked me like, "Is this like a pizza you want the size?" And I said, "I actually want half of them." So I really want to say like less, which is like mano in Italian. It's first time, so I said Q, which is more. It's like the pronunciation is Q is just really memorable. So I thought that's less and say Q, and that guy just say like just cut it, and I once said no, less, and then he just like, what does that mean, because he didn't really understand English. So I have a really like big lunch that time. Um, we also like went to visit a lot of church, and the religion speaking is really interesting. But then I want to talk about how flexible it's important in a group trip. I think unlike our immersion didn't. It's kind of different because we need to went to the tourist place, not with the private bus, but with local bus, which means that sometimes we need to wait for like 15 to 30 minutes um, for the bus, and sometimes that just really piss somebody off because it's kind of cool and boring, and we just like waited like without doing anything, and sometimes it's really boring, but like we knew that we need to deal with it. One time there's a bus that we wait like 30 minutes and it didn't come, and then we find out like there's a strike going on, and that bus just stopped like that day. So we need to change like the bus we took to went to the tourist place. Like sometimes just when we like got a problem, we just need to be flexible to deal with it. And the last thing I want to talk about is how serendipity is really working. Like for example, we learned about we did a lot of observation this trip. We sketch things, we observe, but first we need to observe it. So um, before we went to Rome, Mr. Lacalle shows like a rock-like stuff, and like asked us to observe on that thing. But first time, just thought like that's a rock. What's going on with rock? That's just a simple rock. What do you want to observe on that things? But then after like careful observation, just like feeling it sometimes, like you need to touch it, just not simply watch it. You need to touch it. You need to feel it. Like somebody taste it. That's not an option for me, but it's not really just a simply rock. Rock is different from water, and what we learned then is tooth, and then we learned a lot of history, and then we knew that tooth was like symbol that building is being like the early period in the history. Like if it's like breaks, it will means that the building is built like the empire time, and I think that's really interesting. It's just like how the deduction reasoning work in Sherlock Holmes, I believe. Um, I think people just didn't really pay attention a lot in the real life because things going on, like we deal with our homework, and we didn't really pay attention to things that surround us. Yeah, so like we will always be astonished about something when we pay attention to it, and that's really important in real life. And I think that's what I take from the immersion. And thank you for watching.